And Gary and George from MasterChef taking your calls. And a lovely email, boys, that's from Pauline. Hi, Denis. Love your show. Could you please mention and pass on to Gary and George my thanks for such a wonderful show. Last year, before MasterChef started, I was diagnosed with cancer. So watching it was my one highlight in many difficult days of chemo. Unfortunately, I've relapsed, so I'll be doing exactly the same again this year. So, Pauline, all the best to you. And
best of luck.
It just goes to show you don't realise how you can be touching people.
It's a beautiful thing.
Margaret, good afternoon. Hello, Margaret. Go on. Michael, are you there?
I am. How are you, Gary, George?
Hello, Michael. How are you?
Michael.
Very well, very well. Nice to have you in Melbourne for the show this year.
No, we're very happy.
I was wondering, it must take hours and hours, sometimes days, to film some of these episodes. If you've got about 24 meals to taste, I'm sure that they'd be cold by the time you get to try them. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. You're absolutely spot on. Look, television is an interesting beast. It takes us about 10 to 12 hours to film one episode. And once they've cooked, all you need to know is that the cooking time is for real. So if they have an hour, that's exactly what they've got. And George and I particularly go around and mentor them and taste little things that they're doing. So we've built a pretty good picture, build up a good picture of what they've cooked by the time we taste it. And if they've ever cooked anything that's crispy, like a beer battered something or other, or a souffle, we always taste or look at that, taste it when it comes out of the oven or out of the fryer. So when we taste the food later on, even though it may be room temperature, which is not strictly fridge cold, we've already got a good idea of what it is. But it's strange, isn't it, George, how your perception changes once you eat the whole dish.
Yep, totally.
Yeah.
And
so
George,
you're right.
George, you're in perfect shape. How do you keep thin and be tasting endless amounts of food?
I think it's about, and I highlight it every day now where I haven't in the past, is that, right, boys, we've got 20 tastings today, so let's, we all have a good breakfast. Well, I know Gary does. I know I do. Not too sure about Matt. I think he does. But then, if we're going to have a big tasting, let's have a little snack at 11 o'clock, and that could be a little tuna salad, and then know that we've got tastings, and that tasting is a meal in itself.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of tea. We drink loads of it all day, and it just helps,
He's getting us into the routine.
Yeah.
Although we do laps. I mean, the other day he wandered off. He said, no snacks, no whatever, and he walked off, and I just went, stuff it. Have a little snack, guys.
Okay, you guys. Now, give us what's your favourite winter dish, given we're heading into it? You wouldn't know it with the temperature outside today, but what's a favourite winter dish?
I mean, in the garden at the moment, I'm growing loads of chicory, silver beet, radicchio. So sort of those hearty winter leaves, and something really simple: chopped up potatoes, lots of olive oil, a little bit of stock, loads of those greens. A tablespoon of tomato paste. Stick the lid on it, bring it to a simmer, let it braise away. That and crusty bread for lunch is yum.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry. We go soup crazy at this time of the year. Like even my daughter took leek and potato soup to school this morning.
I'm doing one tomorrow.
Yeah, see, love it. And I go and buy stuff, like you say, all the kales, the brassicas, all these things are in now, and also the root vegetables, beautiful at this time of the year. So they're the sort of things that end up on our dinner table. And I love smoked ham hock soup. Ooh. Love that.
The soup is pretty special.
Yeah.
This time of the year.
Yeah.
And these next few months, just
windy, rainy. Nice.
I'm doing the Annie Smithers one tomorrow,
okay.
which is a little bit fattening, but it's gorgeous.
That's okay. That's a good thing.
96900 693 13 13 32. The days up to 12 hours to do an episode.
Yeah, it's a long day.
It's a big day, but it's high value in terms of TV content that we're trying to get. There's sort of 8-9 cameras. They're trying to get every angle to give the viewer at home a sense of the space and where we're at, and it's beautiful.
Plus, it's not really work when you consider what our lives are like in the restaurants. And that's a tough gig, so we reckon we're pretty lucky.
You're going well. Look, really looking forward to it. Gary and George, thank you. Sunday night,
Pleasure.
7:30 on 10, and I hope it's a huge success again.
So do we. Tune in.
We're coming up to the news, and then it's